USA Weightlifting Hall of Famer Cheryl Hayworth. But right now, we're going to be introduced to our competitors in this group.
From Japan, Ayumi Kamaya. From the United States of America, Jenny Arthur. From Mexico, Alejandra Garza. From Ecuador, Nacy Diomes.
USA Weightlifting Hall of Famer Cheryl Hayworth. But right now, we're going to be introduced to our competitors in this group.
From Japan, Ayumi Kamaya. From the United States of America, Jenny Arthur. From Mexico, Alejandra Garza. From Ecuador, Nacy Diomes. These are the athletes in the women's 75 kilo Group A session.
Here is our start list for this women's 75 group. And Sean, Cheryl, couple of on screen is slated with the highest opener of 110. Let's see if that holds up based on what the field does. And now we have Bochaman Nadeau of Canada. First attempt, 94 kilos.
That looks pretty good.
Well, Marie-Eve has a lot of experience. She's been to 8 senior worlds, 2 junior worlds, 2 Olympics, and with technique like this.
Yeah, she knows how important it is to lock in the opener, and she did beautifully there. Very nice lift.
She opened
6 worlds?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
8. I mean, she's been lifting a long time. Her first worlds was 2006, Santo Domingo, and that was the seniors, wasn't it?
I was there. It wasn't a great meet for me, but...
Ask me how I know if it was a senior world.
Yeah, and remember, we don't actually have a world championship the Olympic years.
That's right.
So those years don't count. So that puts her, and makes sense, all the way back to 2006.
Yep.
When was your last Worlds, Cheryl?
My last World Championship, I participated in Thailand in 2007, Chiang Mai.
All right, so now we have 95 kilos on the bar, and we will bring out our lifter from Uzbekistan, Amadoy Adaguzeva. First attempt.
Oh, hips up a little bit. Kind of jumped forward a little bit, but made the lift.
Made the lift. Looks like a strong, strong girl. Like you said, I saw it too, Sean. As soon as she came off the floor, little tug over, but she's strong enough to get that barbell back to where she needs it.
Yep.
And she does it.
I'd be remiss if I didn't say you were so great, Cheryl, that your numbers have not been surpassed yet in the United States.
You know what, Sean? That's why I like you.
I mean, in fact, your numbers would hold up now. If you lifted in the Olympics now, you'd be in the hunt for a medal.
All right, so now we have 96 kilos loaded. Yao Chi-Ling.
Nice.
Great speed under the bar.
Yeah, and that style that we sometimes see from Asian nation lifters, that head down when they punch out.
Right, as a counterbalance, she's coming up and getting that head through and the bar back as far back as she can.
All right, so now we have 96 on the bar. Crystal Ingarlam of Canada.
Hold it. Good battle.
Good, good. Yeah, we noticed in the warm-up room where I did, she was kind of going forward, not really finishing very well on those snatches, and she gave it a good finish there and got it.
Nice adjustment right there.
Yes.
See that?
Right.
All right, so she is on the board with 96 kilos, and it looks like it's going to move around a little bit. Everybody's sitting on, you know, these automatic increases before we see. So now 97 is going to get called, and it looks like it's going to be Arimi Fuentes Zavala of Mexico. She was at the Universiade, Sean.
Yes, she was. I actually do remember her.
Snatched 101 there. She was in the 75 kilo category. Placed second overall. Let me test your memory. Can you think of who won?
The 75s?
Yeah.
At the universities?
2016. Think about it while she comes out to make her opener. Won't leave you hanging forever. We will look it up at some point if you don't remember.
Man, I don't remember.
All right, here is Garza.
Solid opener.
Really, really solid. She's got one of those, or that sort of build where she's got nice short legs, very powerful, and when she sits into the full squat, she doesn't look like she's going very far because her limbs are so short. But that's going to be advantageous. Obviously, lifted some big weights in the clean and jerk, I imagine.
I'd be careful with that hair. This is the second time I'm mentioning this over the Wells' second lift.
Have you ever seen that being
No,
bald?
but, you know, but I see it there. I wonder if it might.
I don't want to be the official that makes that call.
Me neither. Yeah.
That Pandora's box.
Yeah,
sure.
Good point. We'll come back to that. All right, so now Ayumi Kamaya of Japan. Opened with 100 in Ashgabat back in September. Here she is with 98. Ooh. She hit the bottom and then sunk a little lower. What did you see there?
I feel like she needs to just finish that pull a little bit better. She could have just extended maybe for a split second longer. She kind of hit the bottom a little too soon. Didn't complete the pull. But it's a simple mistake. It's a common mistake. And she knows without a doubt what she just did. She's going to come back out and nail it.
I agree, Cheryl. I think with a little bit more extension is going to give her her feet a chance to get back down faster and her arms to lock a little bit faster.
Right,
and
right.
A little bit more time to decelerate and stabilize.
But like I was telling JP earlier this morning, that last warm-up, between the last warm-up and coming out on the stage, that barbell can feel completely different, and sometimes it just throws your timing off. I mean, you're trying to find your horizon line and keep your balance. And
so I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry, but there's okay. They let this clock run down a bit before they made the change on Kachanke. So go ahead, continue your thought.
I was just going to say, even where you're looking in the audience prior to lifting factors into your spatial awareness. So sometimes it's just a little different, and sometimes you just need that first attempt to figure out what the heck's going on out here on the stage.
Sean, what did you call that the other day? Crossing through into a new universe.
Yeah, you just once you step through that threshold, it's just a different world.
Completely.
It's a different world. The energy changes, everything changes.
And you and I suggested it as people who did not know. Cheryl has just verified it as somebody who does know.
Right.
Air is different. I promise you.
All right, so now we are back to Kamiya of Japan. Second attempt, 98 kilos.
Atta girl.
Yes. Beautiful lines. She's
Right.
really pretty in that position. Nice and upright. Nice locked elbows.
Looks
Great.
comfortable. I tell my lifters I want them to be able to sit down there and read the New York Times. I want them so comfortable.
And there she is.
That's how you do it.
Yep.
And she knows, too. You see it in her face. She knows she's got the lift, and she just got to balance and stand straight up.
Coach Miyagi on screen there.
The legendary coach from Japan.
And we now have 99 kilos loaded for Boshiman Nadeau of Canada. She snatched 98 at the Pan Ams earlier
As
this
a
year.
69, though, right?
Yes, I think so. Ooh, man, she got under that nicely.
Yeah. Looked like it kicked away a little bit, I think.
I was going to say the same thing, Sean. I think she just lost control of the bar. Really important to keep the bar as close as possible.
Would you think that maybe she needs to get her arms involved a little bit sooner to kind of control that, or what would you say to her?
Keep the chest up. I was really hoping for that replay. But yeah, I think the assessment there is just keep the bar closer.
All right, so now 99 kilos, 4-kilo jump for Amadoi.
At her first attempt, her hips came up a little bit, and she jumped forward, but still made it. Let's see if she makes that correction. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
Yeah, yeah.
A little
the same
sideways
kind
too,
of thing.
right?
Couldn't tell,
Okay.
but she got a lot going on.
Right, right. The hips came up, and you know what, Sean and JP, it looks like that's the way she snatches.
Yes. Living dangerously, though, with that.
Right, right. There's a lot of inconsistency that she probably suffers from. Hopefully she can regroup for the third attempt, though.
All right, so back to Garlam of Canada.
That's a good snatch. That's a good snatch. A little recovery forward,
Yeah.
but she pulled a little bit better.
And 2 for 2 for Crystal in Garlam.
You know, it looked like it never actually got back in the slot, and she just held it there.
Right.
And as she comes up, right there, it starts to come forward, but she holds it.
Right, she really doesn't get that bar back very far, does she? Even when she's standing there, it kind of stays in that, right? It always looks a big forward, but she got it.
Good enough.
All right, that 99 kilos is going to stay on the bar for her countrymate and teammate, Marie-Eve Boshiman Nadeau, third attempt.
Come on, right there. Come on. Watch our shade. Let's go.
Yes.
There you go.
Good adjustment.
Very good.
Mark of a
Gotta be-
pro.
She listened to you, Cheryl.
That's a wise decision generally. I'm joking. I'm just like that broken clock, you know? Every once in a while I get it.
So that will cap off a
All right.
2 for 3 series for Marie-Eve Boshiman Nadeau of Canada. And now we have our lifter from Uzbekistan, Odaguazeva.
Wow.
2 in a row, same way, right?
Yeah, same mistake.
And the thing about the lifting technique is it will work for however many kilos, but everybody has that threshold where that technique can be cleaned up and maybe a little bit more efficiency so you can get that extra kilo on the barbell.
You know, we see great lifters jump forward and back. Ideally, when you teach somebody to lift, you want them not to jump forward and back to get their feet straight out. But jumping forward to me is a bigger problem.
Much bigger, much bigger. We were talking about that this morning. That you know, with the jump back, I'll tolerate a little bit of jumping back. The idea is not to waste too much time traveling, especially laterally on the platform. But as long as you're bringing the barbell with you, sometimes you see lifters jump back and they're literally sneaking out from under the bar, and that's when it's a bigger problem.
I agree 100%. You have a little bit of room to battle when you jump back, but in the front it's lost.
Right.
All right, so speaking of technique, an interesting technique, here is Gaëlle Kachanke of France. I think I've seen her lift recently where she was doing powers. It might have been the Olympics. She did powers?
Oh, I think you're correct.
She snatched 102 in Rio.
I think she might be new to the sport and from track. Is that?
Patiente. Longtemps les appuis, épaules devant.
Okay.
Lourd. Allez, 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 allez.
Oh, that's not power. Right?
Holy moly.
But it was fast.
I think I blinked, you guys, and I missed what happened. That was fast and powerful and a great, great opening attempt.
JP, I know who you're talking about. I don't remember her name, but this isn't her.
Okay. But this is a good opener with 100 kilos, and that's up near her heaviest opener ever. She did open with 105 in Houston. Let's see where the string takes her, and now we will go back to our lifter from Chinese Taipei, Yao Qiling. She was junior world champion at plus 75 back in 2012.
She couldn't have been too much more than 75, I'd imagine.
That's right.
Wow.
Very nice.
Very
Good.
nice.
Just like the first one.
Yep.
That's what you want to see. You want to eliminate the variables, and hopefully these lifts are going to look exactly the same no matter what weight is on the barbell, and that's the goal.
And Sean, to button that up, she weighed 80 kilos when she won it.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, one of those athletes that really benefited from the weight class adjustments that happened recently. Quite small to be a super heavy.
Yeah, as a kid, okay, but yeah, now the year of birth, 1993, she's in her 20s, and this seems like the right, size for her. Okay, so now we are back to Garza of Mexico, opened successfully with 97. We now have 100 kilos. Two for two.
Just as good. Just as good.
She has snatched 105. It's just a nice movement, right? I know it was a little bit in front maybe when she punched out, but overall. All right, so Jenny Arthur has been introduced with 101, but we're hearing that she just took 99 in the back. Or loaded 99 in the back, so I don't think that.
Right, I can imagine that she's gonna bump up.
And she has, so she's done with her warm-up. She's walking over to the holding area, and it looks like she moved to
102,
which is about where she's been opening recently, right?
Yes.
And it was totally a thrill for me to meet her the other day for the first time because she's a Georgia girl like I am.
Oh, that's right.
So, Sean, earlier I asked you who won the 2016 Universiade. Currently on the bar at 101 kilos. Anchiteg Mangchisan. She did a 235 kilo total there. Snatched 105, so here she is opening with 101.
Not taking any chances, you know, to Cheryl's point earlier. You know, every lift's going to count here.
Yeah, so far 7 lifters have opened thus far, and 6 of them have made their openers.
Beautiful lift.
Very nice lift.
Make that 7 have made their openers,
That's going to be critical.
because that was an opener for her.
What are your feelings, Sean and JP, on that big extension where the face is looking at the ceiling and we got that arch? It seems to work for some lifters, and some lifters you want to see a more vertical stance.
I want to minimize any unnecessary horizontal displacement.
I agree.
It works for Muhammad Ehab. He seems to do just fine with it, but I wouldn't teach that.
Right. Not as efficient.
All right, so now we have Ann Garland.
Keep it close. Aggressive off the floor.
Couldn't hang on. Couldn't hang on to that weight.
Little bit to her left, and that left arm I don't think ever got to a full extension. I don't think she ever had it locked out.
That's got to be close to her best, because I've seen her lift a few times internationally.
98.
Oh, well, okay.
And
So that would have been above her best.
Yeah.
that symmetry is what we're after, obviously, but as human beings, we're not perfectly symmetrical. You could see that she was a bit softer on her left side than her right side the entire time, and it finally gave.
And with enough weight, it's going to come. You're going to bring it out.
Right.
All right, so now we have Areme Zavala. $102 kilos. This is her first attempt, and this is a big opener. I don't know that I've ever seen a meet where she's opened with heavier than 95. 101 Pan Ams. So this was her heaviest opener ever, and it looks like she's going to be on the board with it. And now Jenny Arthur, 102, and it does look like she's going to take this.
Chest out, aggressive. Let's go.
Replay here.
And
right.
Jenny's been out of competition for a while.
She did lift in September at the American Open Series in Grand Rapids to get the qualifying total to get here. She snatched 105.
Big chest, punch up.
Kevin Doherty.
Push, push, push,
Tight.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's okay. She got the jitters out. That happens. Look, plenty strong, but the snatch is an inch forward, and all is lost. But she's going to make the correction because that's not heavy.
It is
not heavy for her.
Yeah, and it looked like her momentum just started taking her a little bit forward. And that's one where you just, forget it. You make it, you repeat, but you just got to forget it, come back and make it.
You got to pretend like you got your opening attempt to do again and shake it off.
All right, so now 102 is going to stay on the bar as an automatic increase.
Cheryl, when you would miss a lift at a meet like this, what would you tell yourself?
Oftentimes, I'm focusing on what exactly I did incorrectly. I mean, these athletes have done thousands of repetitions. Sometimes you go out there and you make a stupid, silly mistake that you've been doing in training, and you know exactly, you have the tools in your tool belt to make the correction, and I'm just giving myself reminders of what those items are and checking them off.
Okay. All right, so Monk Johnston moved up after being introduced, so that means Jenny Arthur is following herself on a 1-minute clock. She's got to come right back out quickly for this, and in this case, I don't think that that's a bad thing.
No, it's snatches. It doesn't waste any. It just doesn't
But especially with the authority that she just took that first attempt.
Yes. And she has plenty of energy, plenty of strength for this.
Big chest and punch.
Push, push.
Tight, tight, tight.
Good job.
There you go. There
Good
you go.
job.
And she's moving well. I mean, 107 at the Olympics.
It's not heavy, right?
She needs a big finish on this third attempt she's going to have, and she needs to lock it down. Little
It's just
scoot
perfect.
back. Little scoot back
Yeah.
with the feet, though, just a touch in that barbell. That's why she has to recover forward, but not much.
Okay.
She just got to be a little more patient, come straight up and straight down.
So with that, she's in the hunt here. That will move her into second because she was the second person to snatch 102. I think she might sit back and wait a bit. You could figure anywhere between 105 and 107 would be a reasonable call, depending on what happens.
107 is going to be tough for her, I think.
Sit tight, we shall see. And now we have Dahomes. This is her first attempt.
Explosivo.
Wow.
That was nice.
Well, you don't win 2 junior world championships in a row
By not knowing how to snatch. Yep, that was, I don't have much to say about that. Solid opener.
I mean, that was as close to perfect as you can do.
It really is.
You said she won Junior Worlds twice.
Twice in a row.
Well, there's a reason for that.
And she's still a junior.
Oh.
Those were the days.
Allez, gars.
Here's Kachanke.
Dur départ, longtemps les appuis.
103 kilos.
Épaule devant. Allez!
Wow.
I dare say that was a bit better than her first attempt.
Yeah.
She stayed on that vertical plane, no forward movement on that one. She nailed it.
And she's so nice and long that we mentioned this in the last session with the Brazilian lifter. You can really see what's going on because she's so long.
Right, those levers are long. I've seen some of the better snatchers I've ever seen have long arms and long legs, so that's not necessarily a bad thing at all.
But it catches up to you in the clean and
I was
jerk.
going to say, now the clean and jerk is another issue.
All right, so now we have Ayumi Kamiya of Japan. This is her third attempt, 103 kilos, 5 kilo jump from her second attempt with 98 kilos.
Oh.
Little hesitation off the floor there.
So I'd like to see her move her feet a little faster, get to that receiving position a little faster, but perfectly capable of making that.
Right, good patience. She is a bit slow on that first pull, but she waits, she gets into the hip, and it allows her to get that nice pop, but just not enough.
All right, so now we have Yao Sheiling, Chinese Taipei, currently 2 for 2, 96 and 100, both on the board, and a 3 kilo jump here that will move her into third if she's successful. And I like this play because she has a relatively big clean and jerk. So just stay in this thing where you think you need to be and let the clean and jerk sort it out.
And she's given no indication that she's going to miss this. I mean, those first two have been great. Oh.
Right arm.
There you go. I just had to open my mouth.
Thanks a lot, Sean.
Yeah.
All right, so no lift. She will be credited with 100 kilos from her second attempt. And you got to think, as long as she's within 8, less than 10 kilos, let's call it that, of the leader in the snatch, that she can make things interesting later. And now we will go back to Nacey Dahomes, who is going to move up. This is just her automatic increase with 104. So I think we're going to see Garza here on her third attempt.
And I think
there's the change going in.
And I think the call for Arthur is going to be 5. We'll see.
Well, Jenny does have, I guess I would call it the disadvantage of being start number 4,
right,
which means she's not fully in control. She doesn't have the flow of the competition in her favor, so she may have to take what she wants as opposed to reacting to the others.
Yeah, somebody's got to make the first move.
Exactly, and I think the lower start number is going to force her out as opposed to some of the others who are still left. But now we have Garza at 104, and this will move her into the lead. Uneven off the floor, right? You see the bar kind of drifting to her right.
Yeah, I did notice that. And again, about that symmetry, it's always the goal. But these lifters are efficient. They're really, really at the top of their maxes, and all of those imbalances are going to show their ugly faces there, unfortunately.
So no lift there. She will be credited with 100 kilos from her second attempt, and now we will bring back Jenny Arthur at 104 in similar game, Sean.
Yep.
Do what you think you can make and let the clean and jerk sort it out. So now here she is on her third attempt.
We're going to watch out for that little scoop back she does out from under the barbell. Hopefully she'll correct that. This will be her best lift.
Big chest. Aggressive up there. Punch. Push!
Hang on, hang on. That was a better snatch.
Yes.
Very nicely done by Jenny.
The crowd likes it, the referees like it,
And Kevin Doherty likes it.
Kevin Doherty likes it.
And that becomes an important lift, you know. Now the burden is on everyone else to snatch more than that. She's up the ante, if you will.
Yeah, and this is a nice movement. Little step forward again. Doesn't matter. All you need to do is make the lift. And really where Jenny excels and where she looks great is from that power position into that overhead where she transitions. It's just spot on. All right, so now Aremi Fuentes Zavala, second attempt, 105 kilos. So we'll put her 1 kilo ahead of Jenny Arthur.
Oh.
Little movement.
I think she might have gotten it, though.
Look at the look on her face.
Okay.
3 white lights.
I saw that right arm a little bit. Is that what you saw? A little bit of jiggle?
Just a touch, just a little bit of wiggle.
Yep.
Ooh. Okay.
And I figured if she got a light, it would be from that center judge, but he didn't seem too bothered.
No.
And it may seem like we're nitpicking, but we're really not. I mean, we've seen lifts that look like that, or close to it, get turned down, and you know, you both noticed it. So
Yeah.
I've seen the jury in action here at this competition more than I ever have, so there are no guarantees for sure.
All right, so now we are back to Kachanke for her third and final attempt.
And she's been dynamic
Yes.
today.
Reste dans les jambes longtemps. Les appuis lourds au départ. Confiance. On dirait plus.
Cut it, maybe?
Maybe just a touch.
So she'll be credited with 103 kilos from her second attempt, and let's see if the extension.
I mean, the speed was the same, so it's not a strength issue.
No.
It's a little out of position.
Yeah, that's it.
I agree. She could have shifted back and gotten into the hip a little bit more efficiently.
But it looked like it maybe came in a little low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's Munk Johnston on Setseg of Mongolia. She was 8th in Rio, snatched 105, didn't take a third attempt. No, I'm sorry. That was at the Junior Worlds. In Rio, she snatched 106 on her second attempt. So here she is again on the second attempt with 106.
Be interested to see that replay.
It's like she kind of threw herself forward underneath instead of standing upright to get under.
Right. Got to keep the chest up while you're dropping under the barbell. The tendency is, especially on the heavy ones, to pull and dive.
Right.
All right, so we're down to our final 4 lifts that don't belong to Lydia Valentin.
So it looks like she's going to be following herself.
And it also looks like any miss here could be costly in terms of the medal stand. So here is Nacy de Holmes, 106, second attempt.
And she
just
nailed it.
Clinic in technique.
That's right. It's exactly how you want to snatch. And again, as the weight gets heavier on the barbell, you want them to all look the same no matter what.
And she is doing that.
And without the actual physical plates on the bar, that looks exactly like her opening attempt. And that's exactly what she wants.
All right, so now we go back to Monk Johnston, Antcheseg. And with 106, she's got a choice to make here. If she takes the 106, she will be in second. Or she can move up a kilo and play for the lead, but it would put Zavala on the bar. And that's the game that's going to get played here. Because if you miss an attempt, you basically miss out on the medal stand. If you make an attempt, you know, if anybody else misses, they're out, right? So these last 3 lifts, these last 3 lifters, again, not including Lydia, are all on 107 right now, and you're going to see the waterfall of numbers. If Zavala makes this, the next lifter, the Holmes, will take 108, and then Monk Johnston will take 109, based. All right, so now Barrera could hold on a 1 kilo increase if she wants. Or if she moves up, the Mongolian will move up again as well.
Right.
And I would do that because Monk Johnston is coming off a miss. And Barrera is on an automatic increase. And that is what she's done. So she has moved. Oh, no, order of lifting was in Barrera's favor. So Monk Johnston is the lifter. And she will come out to make this. If successful, it will move her in the lead. And this is now the 2nd class in a row, Sean, where we're going to see 2 medalists in the snatch, or at least 2 medalists that are juniors.
Yes. It's great for weightlifting, great for the future.
If successful, she's in first, will likely hold up for a silver. If she misses, she will be 5th.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
What a great lift.
Well, she is successful, and that will be good for a medal.
She got it. It does look like a max effort, but she got it. Fell into the slot. She locked it down. She stayed balanced and stood right up with the barbell. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. There you go.
That was cool.
Yeah. Great lift.
All right, so now Nacy de Holmes, 108 kilos, and what I think will happen is, well, Lydia could take the 110. It's not that far away, but there's a possibility that while de Holmes is on the bar here,
she'll lower it
to 109.
No reason to take 110.
No.
Not if 109 will win, right?
Right.
So here's de Holmes' 3rd attempt. If successful, she will color up on the podium for the snatch. Currently sitting in 2nd.
Wow.
So that is a guaranteed silver.
Perfect. 3 perfect snatches.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Let's just look at this again.
That just made me happy.
Yeah.
It's just nice, you know?
1-0 for the opening attempt.
Music to your
From
eyes.
Spain, Lydia Valentin.
All right, so we are down to our final lifter, and she wants to open with 110, and that is, you know, well within her.
It's her prerogative.
Yeah, and for her, it actually is a little bit low, right? We've seen her open as heavy as 117. So here is Lydia Valentin, 2016 bronze medalist. She took this in the back, so she's already done
Really?
110 once.
It's interesting.
Well, I bet she could power snatches if she had
She
to.
did power 100 earlier this week.
I believe that was actually a power snatch.
I mean, I
I
don't.
think she got about parallel.
I don't know. It happened too quickly. I didn't see it.
And there's your world champion in the snatch. So I don't think the records are in danger today, but she can put some distance between her and the rest of the field and have a very easy time in the clean and jerk.
Yeah, and this is almost routine for Lydia. I mean, over the years, I think her best ever is 124. It's a couple of years since she's done that, but it is her best.
Yeah, that's what she wants to do. She wants to be confident, add weight to the barbell, but she also wants to add to that lead so she doesn't have to come out with a bigger clean and jerk when maybe she wasn't planning on it originally.
And this is the part where we're down to our final two attempts. They're both hers, and you have your automatic increase and your declaration. So she can actually make 2 more changes. So 115 is the weight that's going to be called. They can tick off, you know, a full minute here if they want to. And now that if 115 starts, that's what you have signed off there, and you see she has 2 more changes. So that means 115 is her declaration, right? So with that running, it doesn't matter. She's not even wasting any
but
time.
to your point, I mean, she's opened at 117
Yeah.
before, so this is not even an open.
And the snatch, the expenditure of energy is quite low.
Yes.
So she's not after that extra rest time. There you go.
2 for 2.
I wouldn't be surprised if she passes on this, but
Well, you gotta respect the clean and jerk ability of the competition, but
I mean,
Yeah, but, you know.
and she just looks like she's in the shape, maybe not the shape of her life, because we know that she has lifted more, but she's clearly in top form for the moment, meaning that she can make whatever I think she touches. Even if it's not lifetime bests, we know it doesn't have to be.
Right.
But if you've got the ability to separate yourself from the field, and she doesn't have the look on her face of somebody who's going to pass at 30.
no, she's not going to pass. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she goes after those 20.
Yeah, I imagine that is a pretty respectable
So we've
second
got an
attempt.
18 declaration, 2-minute clock running,
She's going to bump it one more time.
maybe 20.
20 seems reasonable.
Lydia Valentin.
That would be a full 5-kilo jump. She jumped 5 kilos from her first to her second.
Maybe she'll full snatch it.
Well, if you recall, she was in Houston Well, technically, this would be her 11th World Championships, but if you recall, she withdrew before the competition started. She got hurt in the warm-up, I'm sorry, in the training hall, I think, in 2015, didn't compete.
118's the number.
118's the number. Third attempt, Lydia Valentin. This will give her a full 10-kilo lead over the silver medalist.
There it is.
Beautiful.
Good lift for Lydia Valentin. And for all of her accomplishments and all that she's done, she has never been a world champion, and she is now halfway to the bank.
I didn't realize that.
That is right. So Lydia Valentin has brought us into the break with this very smooth 118 kilos. And, you know, we've been talking about technique and making each rep look the same.
Oh, there you go.
And that's why they're at the top of the field. It's for exactly that reason. Their consistency, their dependability, and they know the job they have to do, and they're doing it.
There's McJohnston Ankshishek. She is our silver medalist. Excuse me, bronze medalist with a 106. Lydia, we just saw snatch a gold medal. 118 kilos, 3 for 3 for her. Not much shock on that one.
Has she won, is this her first world championship at all, or has she won a world championship medal in a snatch or a clean?
She's been on the medal stand before. She was bronze in Poland back in 2013. She's never been world champion.
In any, okay.
Yeah. Oh, in any discipline? No, she's never won a gold.
Okay.
Yeah, that's her first gold medal at a world championships. But I'm thinking of specifically total.
Right.
And she's been bronze once. So here are our results in the women 75 kilo snatch competition. You see Jenny Arthur in 5th with a 104 kilo third attempt effort. And as far as the medals go, I mean, there's not a whole lifting at the 2017 World Championships. We have 117 kilos on the bar. The lifter is Ayumi Kamiya.
Not a bad attempt there.
Good lift to start us off. What's that, Sean? What'd you
Just
see?
saying, some of the Japanese lifters are really slow off the floor, so it seems to be intentional, and they just really kind of speed up after the explosion. Very measured.
Right, right. And I encourage my athletes to be controlled from the floor.
Yes.
You got to get that bar into your wheelhouse, into the hip, because that's where all the action starts.
Absolutely.
No necessary direct correlation between how fast it's coming from the floor and whether or not it's successful at all.
4 big red plates, please.
No, I think you're right. It's better, it's more important to get the bar in the right spot than it is to get the bar quickly up there in the wrong spot.
Right, right. Beginners have a tendency, especially your stronger guys who want to try out weightlifting for the first time. They're thinking the faster they're moving from the bar, they're just relying on the momentum they generate instead of where it is in space, actually.
And I find very often the faster, if you try to rush it, then the timing, it's hard to get that the right timing in the explosion.
Right.
new athlete.
All right, so it looks like we have moved all the way up to 120 kilos. That will bring out
Omadoy Otakuzeva.
Omadoy Otakuzeva of Uzbekistan. 120 kilos is exactly what she opened with at her last competition in September. I keep forgetting in Ashgabat. Was that the Asian indoor martial arts?
Yes, yes it was. And she had an issue of getting those hips up and jumping forward on the snatch. And the trend continues.
Very similar in the clean. And she's got it initiating the jerk from the fingertips. You know, as most athletes have a full grip on the bar and right into the meat of their palm, she actually initiates the jerk with the bar in her fingertips, and that's a lot of extra movement, but she made it work for that jerk.
Let's take a look at that right here. Yeah, and you can even see the transition of her hands there. That's
boy, you're just living on the edge.
That is living dangerously for sure.
Yeah.
But she's strong.
Yeah, yes. We have to be to lift that way.
Right.
Here's Boschman. They do her first attempt, 121 kilos. She opened with 23 in July at the Pan Ams. Made it.
That's a nice clean. Wow.
Great lift.
Great. I just love the way that looks all around. Very nicely done.
1 for 1 for Marie-Eve Boschman-Nadeau of Canada. And you got to think you'll see, well, she did 130 at the Pan Ams. I don't know if she'll get there, but certainly upper 20s.
I love the way she keeps her whole hand on the bar throughout the lift. And you're really controlling it and placing it right on into the right spot instead of getting it on those fingertips.
Right. To lift max efforts, you want to minimize any adjustments you have to make later. Sometimes just keeping your hands in the same spot is the best way to go.
That's how we teach it. We teach it no hand movement.
So here's Camilla. This is her second attempt, 121 kilos, 4-kilo jump from her opener.
Very nice.
Very nice. A lot of weight on the front foot in the split. And some athletes I know sort of train that way, and they don't necessarily try to eliminate that issue, but I prefer 50-50. 50% of the weight on the front foot, 50 on the back. But she's fast enough and she popped it hard enough that it doesn't really matter.
I'm with you 100% on that.
All right, so it looks like Coach Miyagi is writing in the change, and that change...
Because what she has to do...
excuse me, that was the declaration.
Oh, that's all right.
There's the change, all right.
There we go. Yeah, a lot of jockeying around here.
Go ahead with your thought there, Cheryl.
Yeah, when she steps that front foot forward and all the weight is there, she's going to have to recover for it every time. And that's the, therein lies the problem.
All right, so now we have 123 kilos for the first attempt of Alejandra Garza of Mexico. Snatched 100 on her second attempt. We're early in this thing, but if successful, this will put her into the lead.
Oh. Man, she just pushes everything out in front.
But it should be good.
And you can actually see
And it is. Go
the
ahead.
shoulder, the musculature she has in her shoulder. It's very strong, and that's probably as a result of kind of having the bar forward most of the time. I mean, she's got to be strong to hold the barbell in that position.
I think you're absolutely right. Even in the snatch, it's a little bit forward too. So yeah, I think you're right. Your body's gonna adapt and build muscle in places to keep the weight up there.
All right, so here's Crystal and Garland of Canada. This is her first attempt. 123 kilos. From what I can tell, this is the heaviest she's ever opened in a meet.
Push. Straight dip. Squeeze.
Should be a good lift there.
Good. Again, a touch forward on the jerk, but pretty easy. Gosh, it looked light enough, that's for sure. And her coach, you can see her coach there just motion to her to put the barbell back into place.
And by that, he means right here in the punch out. Claude, just
Right.
There you go.
Got to get that right. The coach gave exactly the right feedback. And Lydia doesn't seem to have a care in the world right now.
No, and she's got a bunch of time, too. It'll be a little while before we see her.
I mean, she's still putting on her thumb tape.
She can go back and put on her makeup.
That's true.
It'll be a while. All right, here's Medoy.
Wow.
All right, she was better.
Jerk.
All right, good lift there for Omodoy Odugozueva.
It didn't get back right away, but she got it back.
She did.
You know,
It was very quick.
by the way, it looks like she's, you know, technically jumping forward here and fighting through these. She makes lifts. If you look at her competition history, you look at what she's doing right now. I mean, she did go 1 for 3 in the snatch, but she's now 2 for 2 in the clean and jerk in like almost 10, call it 8 major competitions. She's missed a total of 4 lifts before today. So, you know what I mean? She's living with a unique style of technique, but she gets it done.
Well, she's lifting within herself.
Yeah. All right, so we are back to Camilla. This is her 3rd and final attempt. If successful, she will be 3 for 3 in the clean and jerk. 124 kilos is the weight on the bar. This will be the most she's ever done.
Oh,
Man. Yeah, and I think you commented earlier, Sean, about wanting to see her feet move a bit faster.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what happened there. They got stuck to the floor, and she was not in the right receiving position.
Yep. Now, as far as technique goes, great comment by Ivan Abajev, the former Bulgarian coach. Coach came up to him after a competition and said, Coach Abajev, do you think if your lifter's technique was any better, he would lift more weight? He said, my lifter's technique is fine. He's the world champion. So,
There you go.
So I guess when it comes down to it, at the end of the day,
Is winning those medals. Really.
And in fairness, we're sort of weightlifting nerds. We're looking at the little things that we see. A good lift is a good lift, and I'll take white lights over, you know, that's what it's all about. So here's Bosham and Nadeau.
Great technical efficiency out of her.
Back for her 2nd attempt, 126 kilos.
very nice. Well, she's really improved. I tell you, I remember seeing her again. I've seen her at international meets as well, and she looks better.
That was a good lift by majority decision. And by better, technically
better, just more rigid. So maybe the increase in body weight has really helped her.
Right. Just more solid.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like we're going to go to Garza for her second attempt. 3 kilo jump. Up, there's going to be a move there, so
there's a technical stop right now.
Have they called a stop? They're calling a stop, and they are asking for the technical controller, the TC, to go to the jury's table.
So I don't think this is a question about the integrity of the lift. It might be something else going on.
Yeah, nope, they are calling the referees back.
I did see the right elbow, but it really was very, very minor.
I'd be upset. I would be.
Yeah, those little wobbles. I mean, you know, but we know how strict it is. And Cheryl, you and I actually saw a lift earlier today in the 94B where the jury asked to speak with the officials, and they did not overturn the attempt, which is different, unique. But in this case, they're arguing their case, or the referees, that is, are explaining why they've made the choice to white light it. The two that did go ahead and do it, and we'll hear what the jury thinks of that in a second.
Second attempt, 126 kilos.
So they have reversed it as a press out.
Now we'll see if she decides to go up. It's possible.
It is. And this is a spot where, and we'll take a look at this one more time, and, you know, it's,
she just could have been a bit faster and a bit punchier with the
Sure.
elbow, but
a clear
again,
bend and rebend to the elbow.
Right, I would have given her the white light.
I'm with you.
Personally.
And I'm the official here, so I understand what they did. No. But, you know, I do think that's, let's call that very strict. You understand why it happened, and to, you know, continue the conversation there. If in this spot, Boschman Nadeau elects to go up, I could justify that. You know, I mean, that was a lift that was well within her. And
if that was a world record attempt, would you have turned it down?
I hope not.
I mean, so then that's
a great question.
That's the standard that I look at. You know,
but that's me personally, and yeah, I hear you. So, as it turns out, Boschman Nadeau has in fact moved up. And by the way, the referees did not turn it down. This was a jury decision.
Right.
Boschman Nadeau has moved up to 128 kilos, so that will put 127 on the bar for Nacy de Homes. And she looks like she's she's walking toward the ready area, but she's not interested in this 127, what it looks like. So they're probably going to write in a change, and there it is. So now Alejandra Garza is the lifter, 127 kilos.
I got to be nice to the officials. I still have a lifter lifting tomorrow, so I better be nice.
Hand out cigars and stuff.
We can just blame Cheryl.
It's all right.
Apoya bien. El empuje recto, anda la pierna.
And forward. And forward. So at some point, that weight's going to get so heavy that she's not going to be able to pull it back with her arms anymore. Got to focus on the overhead position.
I think we're at that point. I mean, it's funny. Her pull and the clean is beautiful. It's nice and vertical, nice and straight. She just not the same in the jerk.
And as to your point, JP, you do notice the barbell is a little uneven. She is standing with the barbell much lower on the right side.
All right, so now we go to the third attempt of Almadoy Odaguzoeva of Uzbekistan.
Nice lift.
Man.
And she's tough.
This is a
So
curious.
tough. So strong.
If you see the recovery here, take a look. Good lift. And I appreciate I think, the referees here who are holding to their guns. They're calling it without worrying about the jury over their shoulder. And it may not be conventional,
but it gets
got done.
She's just tough. Good for her.
And that will close out a 3-for-3 series and a 224 kilo total. 222 kilo total for Oda Kuzaeva. All right, and we are back now with this 127 for the third attempt of Alejandra Garza.
I don't think she's going to have any trouble with this clean.
No.
Clean, vamos. Dale, venga. Ahí arriba.
Oh, goodness.
That's a surprise.
It is. I was really expecting her to make that clean and make the correction overhead, but no lift on her third and final attempt.
That will close out her day with a 223 kilo total.
And I think the coach made the exact right observation. The elbows dropped. If she drove her elbows up, she would have been able to stand up without a horse slide.
A little bit of momentum.
Yeah.
All right, so now we have Orimi Fuentes Zavala for her first attempt, 128 kilos. Zavala has opened as big as 130. But earlier this year at the Universiade, she made 127 on an opening attempt.
Beautiful.
It's a great lift.
Good start.
She adjusts wider for the jerk. Very, very nicely. She's got a really, really nice rack position with the barbell on her chest. It doesn't bother her at all to remove her hands from the barbell and just slide them right on out.
You see that a lot from the Colombians. She's got a really nice rhythm to her lift overall.
Yeah, I'd agree. And now what we're seeing is 128 kilos, looks like is being introduced for Macy de Homes. She was the silver medalist in the snatch, 3-for-3. Closed it out with a 108 kilo effort. And now she's opening here with 128 kilos in the clean and jerk. Her best is 135.
Wow.
Great attempt.
And I think she's going to be a star in this weight class in the coming years.
Well, she's already an Olympian. She's already a top 8 finishing Olympian. She did 135 in Rio, and the cadence of that lift and the approach, you're right.
I also like to see lifters who look like they're just having a good time. You know what I mean? She looks like she's having a good time.
Well, then let's just go to South America.
When it's easy like that, it's easy to have a good time.
That's true. She had a great day in the snatch.
All right, so we are seeing Yao Qiling for the first time.
Very good.
Solid.
Good lift. It didn't affect the lift at all, but did you notice on the jerk her grip?
So off.
Yeah. And it's interesting in that it didn't seem to affect the lift at all. But take a look at this. You can sort of tell her left hand is out a little bit wider. Again, still a good lift, no doubt about it.
And it could be an asymmetry she actually trains with because she does it often, and her body is simply compensated for that.
You never know.
She will have more kilos on the left side if the left hand's wider, but doesn't seem to bother her at all.
Okay, so here is Crystal Ngarlam of Canada, second attempt. 5 kilo jump.
Prends ton temps, let's go. Prends le temps de monter ta barre. Push. Straight dip. Push,
Just pushing it right out forward.
I see Sean nodding his head yes.
Yes, yes.
She's got to finish that drive and go vertical with that barbell. Get your chin out of the way, get your face out of the way, open up the chest, and send the barbell up, not out.
Good
Whip.
good whip on the bar.
Yeah, the dip was nice.
Yeah. I wonder if I haven't seen her feet, but I don't know if her footwork is off a little bit sometimes. If that front foot hits first, it pushes you out from the bar, or is she pushing it with her arms in front? It's tough to tell from the angle we had.
All right, so here is Marie-Eve Beauchemin-Nadeau, the victim of a jury overturn with 126 kilos on her second attempt. She's moved up to 128. If she makes this, she will finish the day with a 227 kilo total.
Really got to push hard and lock this out.
Punch.
Like that.
There you go. That girl.
That was great.
She wasn't going to let that happen twice.
That was a great lift. Good for her.
Good jerkers make me happy.
Yeah.
JP, they just make me happy.
All right, so a 227 kilo day. And you especially like to see it after a grind out of a clean like that.
Right.
And just such a good movement.
Nice even spread, front and back foot.
So here is Crystal and Garland, her countrymate and teammate, with that same 128 kilos, third attempt.
Just gotta get the bar back. All right.
That's better.
Yeah.
That's better. She manages to get it back.
Just enough.
Yeah.
And with that, she will finish the day with 227 kilos, which actually moves her behind Beauchemin-Nadeau.
And I think this is a big PR for her, too.
Yeah, she seems pretty happy with that.
It looks like it, yeah. 225. Yeah, 225 on a 6-for-6 day at the Canada Championship. So let's improve upon that on the world stage. That speaks to you as well, Cheryl.
It does. If I was lifting lifts in the gym, I knew I was good for 5, 10 plus more kilos in the competition situation.
So a very big moment here for Jenny Arthur, and I'll tell you why. The bronze medalist, Johnston Anchetek, is out of the competition. She has declined her clean and jerks, so she has withdrawn. That's a big deal. Jenny Arthur, 130 opener. This will give her a 234 kilo total.
Decent. She's gonna crush it.
She's had some issues in the jerk in the past, so let's
Strong.
see if she can overcome them.
Hop up. Up. Let's go. Heels and legs. Hold, yeah! Yeah!
Nice job. Nicely done. Want to see that kind of opener, especially for what these big cleaner jerks are going to mean in a couple minutes.
Just keep it rolling.
Good lift for Jenny Arthur here.
This is the first attempt. Lydia Valentin-Perez, Spain.
You see the hands up in the background. All right, so now here is Lydia Valentin at 130. And with a 10 kilo lead coming from the snatch competition, you have to think that this will be a workman-like opener. Just get it done and sit back in case anybody has something in them unexpected. This will give her a 248 kilo total. Probably an early entrance. Out a little sooner than I expected. Well, that could be a first attempt, but the lift that ultimately wins her first ever World Championships.
Yeah, very conservative move, but she's trying to lock into that total because you can get a medal in the snatch, a medal in the clean and jerk, but that total medal makes you the world champion.
France, this is her first attempt.
Is that a little bit wider of a grip than I think we've seen before in the past? Not sure.
Not sure.
All right, so now 131 is the weight for Gaëlle Nayo-Kachanke of France.
Wow.
Good lift at 131 kilos, and there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, she gets a little bit of air time in that clean.
She does. She gets a lot of lift from the floor, a little bit of a donkey kick, as you call it. And I don't know about you guys, but I get a bit nervous when I see athletes standing for a long time with the bar on the chest.
There are
that
some
becomes
people
heavy
who
fast.
just do it. It's amazing how there are some people who could just do it, but yeah.
I want that thing off me as fast as possible.
All right, so here's Aribi Fuentes Zavala. This is her second attempt, 131 kilos.
She's got it.
Good lift. 2 for 2 for Zavala. And with that, the cadence of that is.
This is her second attempt in the clean and jerk.
She's got a really, really tight second pull in the clean. You can see there's no inches wasted as the barbell comes up and just lands right on her chest. No crashing, very fast.
And with that, she has a 236 kilo total. 1 attempt left. This currently has her sitting in third. You got to think a few made attempts here will move her out of the medal picture. 131 here for.
I think 133 is going to be the number for Jenny.
Well, let's see that in a bit. Right now, everybody is close to it. Nobody has elected more than 132. We have Yao Che-Ling on the bar, and she may have a little too much ground to make up. Yeah. This will move her into 6th if she's successful
only
in the total.
Only 100 in the snatch, so she's got some distance.
No.
Just not enough.
She's got another attempt, and she will have some time.
The way that looked, though,
well, actually, she won't. Here's Arthur. This is an automatic increase.
Yeah,
this will change.
Right,
and then Lydia's on an automatic increase. That'll change. They're going to put her right back out. But before, this time it's not 1 but 2 lifters. And by the time these changes come in, it's probably a net 0 effect. She'll have the same amount of time. But the changes have to happen.
Right.
So this isn't so much of a strategy. Oh, there they are. They're in already. 1 minute clock is running.
Now, she didn't expend a ton of energy, well, from the floor and everything she did, but she wasn't fighting through standing up with a barbell, so she may be okay to come right back out here and do this.
I agree.
She's a lifter who's done 136. So I'm not sure if that one got away from her or what, but we shall find out if she can turn it around here quickly. 131 on the bar, 3rd attempt. Yao Che-Ling, Chinese Taipei.
She's got to get aggressive with this.
If successful, this will give her a 231 kilo total. Over into 6th.
That's better.
Oh, man.
No drive, just kind of a stand up and drop.
Right, sitting down in the full squat with the bar on the chest, from that pause and then having to stand up, that really takes it out of you right there.
All right, so no lift for Yao Che-Ling.
She got real deep into that split, and it probably felt as if she was squatting again and just didn't have the leg strength to maintain that position.
And now we have Nacy DeHomes out for her second attempt at 132. Now, she was the silver medalist in the snatch, but seeing her give away or use another attempt here, it will put her at a 240 total, but it'll give some options to the field.
Mm-hmm. She might be just lying in wait, though, on that last attempt. Wow.
Uh-oh. This is going to be a punch-a-button lift. It could be either way. All three are good, and let's see if this holds.
And what she does there, I think, in the dip and the drive was fine. She kind of just goes down and loses her integrity. She's got to keep the chest up. She's got to maintain that nice posture and drop right under the bar. And she doesn't really quite do that. A little forward there, see that?
Jury's talking a little bit, but...
You know, and for the purposes of consistency, and if you have to say it, and I think you do, if they're going to let this pass, then I think Boschman Nadeau got robbed on 126.
I have no comment, JP.
I'll take that as your agreement.
Plenty of time, girl. You look great.
All right, so now here's Jenny Arthur, 3 kilo jump, 133 kilo total. If successful, that will move her into 3rd place with a 237 total and an attempt to go.
Oh, 2nd place.
3rd in the total, 1st in the clean and jerk, if successful.
Strong. Hop up. Get up. Legs, heels. Hold.
Oh, squeeze. That a girl.
Oh.
Hang on.
That will work. Good lift.
That will hang on, but I think the correction she's going to have to make in the jerk for the next big attempt is to keep the chest up. When she dips and drives, you see the barbell slide a little bit. Very nice clean, though. The barbell's going to slide just a touch, and it doesn't take much. I left it out forward, but she's able to hang on tight because she's strong.
She is strong.
We got a little bit of conferring from the jury.
So they're talking to the referees about Jenny Arthur's attempt here, and struggle not to be critical on this, especially after the attempt that just passed before it. And, you know, there's a lot of jury involvement in this session.
I mean, there's a lot of shoulder movement. I mean, does the elbow stay straight, perfectly straight?
They're wobbling, they move a little bit.
But is that an attempt that you take away from an athlete when...
I don't think it's fair to Arthur if they take this away and not the prior attempt, but it's too late on the prior attempt that's done.
Right, it's too late.
This is just not that big a deal. No lift. That is costly.
Sure is.
So the jury has overturned it for a press out, and that is a costly decision.
Well, I like to see her earbuds in. Jenny, right now, she's just got to literally not even let it bother her. And I like the zone that she's in now, and that's exactly what her coach is telling her. Just forget about it. We'll handle what's on the bar. You just make the next lift.
And that she doesn't have to make a decision just yet, because what this is going to do is De Homes is going to get called. She'll move up. I gotta be inclined to think that Jenny will not take 233 or 133. So we see Mike Catone going to the table now, and 134 is what they'll write in. And that,
Number 4.
yeah, and that is what they've done. So they've declared 134 here, and they can change that 2 more times if they want. And I think for Arthur, who is in play for a medal here, I think you move on as if that lift was good.
Yes.
I agree.
It's the World Championships. You have to.
And it's also a 3rd attempt, and that lift wouldn't have won you a medal anyway, so you just move past it.
Absolutely.
The effort was there. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to add a kilo to the bar, but she wants to feel like it's a new lift.
What I think is, though, Cheryl, is that I think it's going to be more than 34.
Tiens, séparé dans la graisse. Solide. Allez! Vamos, tous! Ici. Tiens, passe un talon.
Nice job.
Wow. And that is a good lift, I think, and it will be. And there's a lot of movement where there seems like a lot of time, like you mentioned, Cheryl, but she's very disciplined and consistent about it, how she goes about it.
It's very methodical.
So one hand, you know, it happens the same way every attempt. And that was good.
Right, and it is important for the lifter to maintain those routines.
Which, by the way, now moves her into 3rd overall with a 237 kilo total. And 1st in the clean and jerk with Fuentes on the bar. Taking the same 134, it will not move her ahead of Kachenke in the clean and jerk, but it will move her ahead in total.
Oh.
No lift. That means 236 will close out Fuentes Zavala's day. And if Barrera takes it, she's going to give... No, here's the change. So Jenny Arthur is currently 6 kilos behind De Homes, which means she has to out clean and jerk her by 7 kilos to win. So I don't know that they're going to be that aggressive, and what they're going to do is probably make a play for the bronze, which 134 situates them to do, and that's exactly what's happening. So Jenny Arthur, 134 kilos, 3rd attempt, a huge spot in this meet. If Jenny Arthur puts this away, she's 1 missed attempt, or excuse me, yeah, 1 missed attempt away from possibly holding on for 3rd.
Time to dig deep. This is her last lift.
She's got to figure out that jerk right now.
Strong. Hop, hop. Legs, legs. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
All right, so no lift there. She'll be credited with her opening attempt of 130 kilos. 3 for 6 on the day, 234 kilo total. And now Lydia Valentin.
And that jerk is a very elusive thing. You'll know this amongst jerkers. You're either nailing it, and some people are having a lot of trouble with it. It's a very, very technical movement. And oftentimes does not come down to strength at all.
No, it's put it in the right spot.
All right, so now Lydia Valentin, second attempt, 135 kilos. So we'll move her to 253 kilo total and likely out of reach if she's not out of reach already. Good lift for Lydia Valentin.
Locked it right down. That's a great, great attempt. So strong.
So what's a pleasure to see right now is that we've got Dahomes locked into a medal, Valentin locked into a medal, Kachanke locked into a medal, all on third attempts. Between the three of them, they are just one missed attempt so far. So here is Nacy Dahomes, 135 kilos. This will strengthen her position in second overall and move her into second in the clean and jerk. So now, with that, she will finish the day with a 240 kilo total.
What's her best clean and jerk in total?
I'll tell you in a second, but I wanted to check on something, and that was what Kachanke needs to move ahead of Dahomes, and that is 135. And 138, excuse me, and Kachanke has made that move. And your question, Sean, is what was Dahomes' best ever?
Yes, total and clean and jerk.
35 and 242. Okay. She's done 242 twice. All right, now 138 kilos will move Gael Kachanke to second place in the total. Will lock out a silver medal, and it will guarantee her at least a silver medal in the clean and jerk.
It's a big lift right here.
So this is to color up.
Oh,
no.
Oh, that's where that air time gets you.
Right, right. At some point, you can't pull the barbell higher, and it's going to beat you back down to the floor.
Exactly.
So that means Lydia Valentin is guaranteed triple gold in this competition. She does not have to take a third attempt, but it looks like she's gonna.
Why not?
Why not? Although, my favorite thing to do was to pass on a third attempt.
Yeah.
Jerk. I tell you that right now. And
well,
unless it personally meant something, I was like, nah, coach, I'm good.
I hate to tell you, but there's not that many people that can relate to that.
No, I know. Well, we all could pass, but, you know, from 8th to 10th place.
Yeah, you could pass all your thirds if you want.
All right, so we are down to our final lift of the day, the final lift of this session. And it belongs to Lydia Valentin, 140 kilos. If successful, she will close out a perfect 6-for-6 performance en route to her first ever World Championship title.
There's your world champion.
All right. Add that to an already full resume.
Not much else you can say.
No.
That's a great performance there.
Congratulations, Lydia Valentin. You are the 2017 world champion.
Give a shout out to my friend Kara Head Slaughter, who's watching, a wonderful 75-kilo lifter in her own right.
Bronze medalist was 4-for-6. And this got, you know, interesting here in the clean and jerk, and not a whole lot of separation from this field. And there was some drama. There were some huge moments and some very important lifts. You hate it when the referees become part of the discussion, or at least when the jury and referees become part of the discussion, but in this case they did. I don't think it affected the outcome per se, and we're taking a look at our